What's going on, people? Have a little fun today. Do a little dragon hunting in the snow. Actually, I'd planned on meeting the companions at the Tomb of Ysgramor, and this was pretty much the closest place I had to spawn to. I've done a whole lot up here in this area, you know, around Winterhold and stuff, and didn't have a lot of locations unlocked, and the tomb is kind of off the coast on a little glacier or whatever, little island. Anyway, we'll get down there eventually, but I spawned up here, found this dragon, and then I was also thinking we could go stop at the Shrine of Azura and maybe get that quest started. Don't know if we'll get around to it, but the star, Azura star that you get as a reward for that quest, it's actually really useful. Not so much as it was in Oblivion. Oh my god, these things are doing some damage. Look at that. Yeah, they're throwing ancient dragons at me pretty regular now. Which is a good thing. They definitely put up a fight. They take a decent amount of damage, but they do quite a bit more than, say, a normal dragon. I can take a shot of fire, fire breath from a normal dragon now, pretty much, without dying. But these guys get caught in a full blast, and it's 2 or 3 seconds, and that's it. 2 or 3 seconds if I'm lucky. Notice I haven't been running around using a lot of, like, resistance potions and stuff. And I have them, and I just don't think about it, you know? Fire resistance, frost resistance, what have you. Doesn't make a terrible amount of difference on this difficulty anyway, unless you get some pretty strong ones. And if you have something that can resist like 40-50%, obviously that's pretty good. But the 10 or 15% is the difference of about half a second between whether you get toasted or not by one of these guys. But, yeah, anyway, I remember Azura Star in Oblivion. And I really like the quest there too. Just like in this one, it's pretty creative. But in that one, she had some followers who got like afflicted with vampirism and went and holed themselves up in a cave to basically stay away from people so they wouldn't hurt anybody. And I mean, that's cool. You can't expect that out of vampires too often, so very nice of them. But anyway, she wants to kind of end their misery, and so she sends you to take care of them in an act of mercy type of thing. And she comes across as being pretty cool. So I've always kind of liked Azura. But the star, in that case, in Oblivion, you didn't have dwarven ruins that you could go farm soul gems from, like you can here. I mean, especially at this level, we could go walk into just about any dwarven ruin and walk out with 20, 30, 40 gems. Some of them full already, you know. In Oblivion, you kind of had to work for them a little bit. I tended to buy a lot more gems than I do here in Skyrim. And then when you went to go enchant an item, it had a really cool system in place. I really liked it, actually. I kind of missed it a little bit, because first you had to earn the right to even use it. And then once you got to it, you would, depending on the soul gem you started with, would dictate how much of a charge you had. Like, it went up to, I don't know, I think like 1,600 points, which sounded like a lot until you started actually assigning damage to your weapon. And say you wanted to do just base fire damage. Well, if you wanted to do, like, I think it started at 5 points of damage or whatever, it may only take, like, I don't know, 10 or 20 charge, and you're like, oh, you can get a lot of swings with that. But when you start putting it up, you know, when you get to higher levels, when you actually need to get some damage out of your weapon, and you need, like, you know, 20, 25 points of fire, then stack that with maybe another 15 to 20 points of frost, and maybe some lightning, and then you might even want to throw a soul trap on it to make things easy for you to keep your soul gems filled and stuff. All of a sudden, you're down to about 30, 40, 50 strikes, tops, with your weapon, you know, on a full charge before you'd have to recharge it again. And so Azura Star really came in handy for that, because it was essentially a battery for your weapons. As long as you had Soul Trap equipped to something. I think I always put it on my bow in that one also. Like, you know, I have Soul Trap here in Skyrim. I think that's something carried over from Oblivion. Is just habit to keep my soul gems filled and stuff. And you keep them at a distance, you know, you don't have to do quite as much damage as you do up close with your weapons and stuff. So it seems like I kept Soul Trap on that too anyway. But having the Azura Star in your back pocket, even if you just go kill a mud crab, even if it was just a petty charge, you could go into your inventory and immediately use it and charge your weapon. And then the next thing you come up against, you just fill it again. And so you just fill it forever. Thought that was pretty cool. It works the same here. Not quite as necessary. A lot of times you might have a charge in your Azura Star and never get around to even using it, so long as you have other gems in your inventory. Because a lot of times I'll use gems in my inventory because they actually take up weight. Whereas the Star, it just has weight regardless of whether it's charged or not. You just kind of keep it on hand in case of an emergency type thing. But anyway, it's a cool quest to do. You do get to make a choice in this one. You can choose to keep it a black star by going back to the guy that you deal with in the quest, this Nellikar fellow, and that allows you to trap human souls. I have a few black soul gems in my pocket already, so I'm not really worried about it personally. I'm going to go ahead and honor Azura and do the right thing with her star. She wasn't really cool with it being turned into a black soul gem. And did I actually just miss that bear with my shout? I really did. Alright, well, sorry, bear. Sorry for yelling at you. Accept my apologies, please. I didn't mean it. At least until my shout recharges, I didn't mean it. But anyway, she's not real cool with keeping her star a black star, being defiled or whatever. And so I'll go purify it. There's a way to do that. Turn it into a regular star. And there really is upside to keeping it a black star because you can absorb human souls, and so you can trap anything in it. I believe. Now, there's one thing I don't know, as I've never actually kept it and made it the black star. I don't know if once you make it the black star, if it only traps human souls and nothing else. Because I know a black soul gem will trap anything. Literally anything from a human on down to a mud crab. But perhaps the black star doesn't do that? I don't know. I really actually don't know. I don't care. I don't do that anyway. Doesn't really matter. Black soul gems become available later game. You can even find those things on like Centurions and stuff. Like I say, I have a pocket full of them now. And I did do a little testing, by the way. When I was making my ring and my necklace, I switched out between a black soul gem and a grand soul gem, and I got the same stats out of either one. I had heard that black soul gems are a little stronger, but I think it gives you just more charges on a weapon. Something where you actually use the charges. I think that's the case. And I don't know that it even raises your stats. I think it's just a matter of having more charges. Then on top of your particular skill that goes with that particular damage type, like say if you put fire, frost, or lightning on your swords, then the higher your destruction skill, the more charges you get. And then I guess if you use a black soul gem, you get even some more charges on top of that. I believe that's how it works. I don't know that makes that big of a difference. Never worried much about it. I mean, usually by this time in the game, if you have all your skills set out and you have your gear worked out right, a couple extra points don't make a whole lot of difference. You should be kicking enough butt to get by, so... Anyway. Just throwing that around. So, I thought we'd stop by the shrine at some point. We've got dragons to get past and some area to explore here. Be nice if it was kind of a clear day. It's actually really cool up here. When the sun's out and you've got the wind still blowing by, and honestly, it puts me in a place I'd like to be. I'd like to get up into a snowy mountain on a just a bright, crisp, clear day and have an almost ice cold breeze blowing by where you have to you really have to bundle up and stuff, but it's beautiful outside at the same time. That's cool to me. Kind of like going to the beach when there's a cool wind coming off the beach, but it's warm outside. So you got the warm sand, but a cool breeze blowing by. Doesn't get a whole lot better than that to me. I totally dig that. So I kind of get the feels up here when it's bright and sunny outside. Yeah, you just keep rolling, bud. That's what I'm talking about. Use height to your advantage, right? For the most part, when we've come up here, we just keep catching these blizzards. I guess this is just that time of year or something. I don't know. It's always like this, really overcast and dreary and snowy, and yeah. This is about all we've been getting up here. I remember there being a skill book somewhere around here. On the way up, I know there's a dragon wall up here, which will always be guarded by a dragon, but I don't remember what the shout is, but I guess we can grab that while we're here too. Sometimes you'll notice, once I start a fight, if I circle around, a lot of times I'm passing off threat to whatever follower I have. In this case, a summons, which Atronak isn't going to draw a whole lot of threat, necessarily. The Dromora will draw a bit more. I guess because of the heavy armor thing. I don't know. I don't know exactly how all that works in the calculations and stuff, but A lot of times, like Uthgerd, when she has her bow out, I'm still getting chased down, but as soon as she pulls out her sword and shield, enemies will literally, you can just sit there, watch them turn from me and turn their attention to her, type thing. And that's the case in most, like, MMOs and stuff, is the more heavily armored you are, the more tanky you are, the more threat that you draw, the more aggravated you make the enemies. Well, no shortage of these guys up here. Oops. I blended in with the rocks there for a second. You see, my Atronach actually drew his threat for a moment. Problem is, from a Frost Troll, Atronach's only going to take about 2 hits. Maybe 3. Very cool. There was a time way back in the day when just a normal troll, you might have to hack away at him for 5 minutes. Just to, or the frost one on the way up the 7,000 steps, right? Everyone's had a bad day with that guy. He's given everyone the blues at least once. That son of a gun. Yeah, I think he's like notorious. When you think frost troll, you think about that one guy that's hanging out on the way up to High Hrothgar, ambushing unwary travelers and stuff. It's been a while. It's kind of hard to believe that we're already almost on episode, what, 60? Getting real close. That's crazy. Doesn't seem like we've been doing this that long, considering a video just about every day. Just about. Not even exactly. I think there's been a day or two that I skipped, although I might have doubled up on a day or two somewhere in there. I don't know, but for the most part, one a day. That's 2 months now that we've been hacking away at this, and that's pretty cool. Looking back, time flies when you're having fun and all that. For anyone who's new to the Let's Play, just tuning in just to check it out or whatever. First, I really appreciate it. I think it's really cool. Glad that you found the channel. Hope you like the games and stuff, the style that we do here. A little off the beaten path or whatever, I hope. But what's coming next will be Fallout 4, and I mean I'm just stuck on that, and I hope everyone's excited for it like I am. I haven't been this hyped for a game since, I want to say Inquisition, and I was only looking for that. Dripping at the jaws for that game because I'm a huge, Dragon Age fan as far as that goes. Well, Fallout is that other franchise. New Vegas didn't quite do it for me. I dug it. I thought there was a lot of good things about it, but it felt like, in short, a relatively really big DLC with not a lot to fill in a lot of the gaps and stuff. Say what you will about the story and stuff, parts of the story and things, and what you do once you get to Vegas and stuff that you might like, and I won't knock any of that. But overall, the game was, they could have probably packed it into half the area that they put it in and given you stuff to do. It was a little spread, a little open, a little big and empty for me. Well, it was a desert. I mean, I get it, but it was just missing things, missing the feel, the whole immersion aspect of it. There was really not a lot of immersion for me. I felt like more like I was just doing things. Anyway, that was just kind of how I came across. So, I'm still kind of waiting for the next Fallout after Fallout 3, in a way. Now, I put my time into New Vegas. Don't get me wrong. It was a good game. I did my things, but there's that certain something that comes with Bethesda games that keeps me immersed, that draws me in and doesn't let me go. And really got that with Oblivion. Got a bit of that with this one. Not so much as Oblivion, to be honest, but thanks to actually a couple of our viewers sharing their insights and their views on this game, I actually look at this in a little bit of a different light, and actually have gotten more out of some of this gameplay so far in this Let's Play because of you guys than I had in previous playthroughs. Seriously, and so that's really awesome. Y'all actually made the game better for me. So that's amazing, and so obviously looking forward to the next Elder Scrolls too, right? Elder Scrolls 6, but that's gonna be a ways on down the road. If Fallout 4 is any indication of what we're going to be waiting for, then I think we can expect to just dig into Fallout 4 and let that sink in for a while, because Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be a ways down the road. A ways down the road. If they follow true to their pattern, they'll be starting on Elder Scrolls 6 right now as we speak, actually. They'll be laying down the very, very basic groundwork and stuff, but they still have Fallout 4 DLC that they'll be working on. They're probably knee-deep in that right now, honestly. So they won't have a lot of time to do anything other than sketch out just a rough outline of what they might plan on doing and where they might plan on doing it in Elder Scrolls 6. And once you get the reveal, they'll also reveal where it's at. There was a lot of speculation around where this one would be until they finally revealed Skyrim and the whole, you know, Nordic, rustic thing that they were going to try to do with this. And I think they did it well, right? I mean, obviously, we're still playing it today. Must have done something right. So we could speculate again, but until they tell us, believe nothing you read. In fact, believe nothing you hear, and even less of what you read regarding Elder Scrolls 6 until Todd Howard comes out and says something. That's pretty much he's the law when it comes to that. Sorry for juking and dodging this guy, but as you can tell, even just peripheral fire there still almost take me out almost instantly. I know, I could use a fire resistance potion, but I don't think it'd make a whole lot of difference, honestly. I just need something to draw its attention long enough so it doesn't focus on me. So I can either get another shout off on it, or maybe get in a few shots. He is one of those where you step around the corner, you're either going to take a blast of fire or one of those big fireballs to the face. And those things, if they hit you square, it will kill you so bad that it won't even let you know you died. Next thing you know, you're just sliding across the ground and you're in a loading screen. Put in another quarter and try again. Game over for you, buddy. Yeah, those are nasty. The ice balls too. They shoot like a version of Ice Storm, kind of like what those mages like to spam, especially on Legendary. They love to spam the stupid Ice Storms. Whether they've got it as a spell or they've got an Ice Storm staff on them. Either way, they just spam the crap out of it. But the Dragon's version of that, from its breath, oh my gosh, that is a killer. And if somehow you manage to live through it, you're literally frozen, slowed, stilled, chilled, brittle, you name it. You're going to be feeling that for a week. So anyway, sorry, I'll get off rambling, but Fallout 4 will be next, and we'll be knee-deep in that. What'll probably happen is, while I get it, I'm going to go dive into it, and basically you won't see me for a week, you know? But I'll have probably the last of the Skyrim videos ready and queued up so that give you guys something to set into. Of course, y'all will be playing Fallout yourself, so you know you won't have time to come watch Skyrim videos. But got to keep something to keep the channel busy. And for those that aren't able to get Fallout 4 on release and want to check out some of that, and you want to come hang out here at Ninja Flips, then I'll probably start with that as soon as I can. I'm not one of those that gets in and just goes blind, you know, just to say, hey guys, here, come join me while I suck at this. You know, I that's really not kind of my thing. I like to really look at the gameplay and the story and the immersion value and stuff, and then really look at the combat system and the skill trees and see if there's really anything to even think about as far as builds go and stuff. You know, I did New Vegas and Fallout 3 builds, which were very similar because, of course, they're similar games. I think the skill trees are going to be a bit different in 4 from what I've seen. Haven't studied it much. A lot of guys have already gotten their hand on like the skill charts and stuff, I guess from screenshots and computer-enhanced stuff. They've looked at what's really going to be available. I haven't looked so much at it. I'm kind of just waiting until I get my hands on it. And a lot of things I could sit here and look at now and I could say, well, that looks like a good perk. But until I get in the game and see how it actually plays out in combat, sometimes things that look really good on paper are garbage in game, and sometimes skills that look kind of mediocre and are really easy to pass by because they don't sound all that enticing maybe mixed with another skill or perk, are fantastic and will sew your entire build together. Some of the better RPGs are like that. They'll have those 1 or 2 hidden skills where, you know, when you read them, you say, well, that sounds like garbage, unless you catch a key word. Like it will show you that it relates to another skill, and if you put those two together, or put those two together in combination with other skills, or a certain build, or a certain set of equipment, or whatever, right? Then it will give you this, you know, fantastic synergy in your gameplay. So you never know. So I like to get my hands on and actually see and come up with some kind of decent build, and from experience figure out some things that work and don't work, and then get a good idea on you know, how the game plays out and how I feel about the game, and then I share that. I try not to share anything with you guys unless I'm really passionate about it, unless I really dig it and I'm really into it. And you'll notice a lot of times I'll get off, especially when I go to rambling, which is probably more often than not. Some of you guys must be all right with that because you're still around. But what I like to do is reflect on how certain things either compare or remind me of a lot of the other games that have had a major impact on my gaming. Like I may even go so far back as to reference I don't know, like Fable 2 and some other games that overall, you know, you can knock what you want, but when a game, if you look back and instead of looking at each individual tree, look at the forest as a whole, in a sense, you know, take the whole game into account and say, you know, what kind of experience was this? Some games are just magical. When you look at them as a whole, they'll have annoying little things, maybe something like, well, the combat's not this, or you know, the graphics aren't quite that, or, you know, and you can nitpick, sure, but when you step back and you say, does the game work? Does it just have that certain thing that just leaves me going wow and make me want to play it again? Or play it in a different way, or just experience the same story over and over, or whatever. Fable 2 is kind of like that with me. Don't really know why. Nothing exceptional about the combat. It was basically button-mashing combat. There wasn't really anything to build as far as character build goes. It was only an RPG in that you were playing through this story, but it was this magical world where everything was consistently very much like an adult children's fable book brought to life. It was just cool. It was cool. And from what I understand from some of you guys, Fable 1 was even better, right? But Fable 2 was my first, okay? Admittedly, that was my first, and that was the one, and I really liked it, you know, and that it just is what it is. And so yeah, I'll think back on these things, and sometimes other games will have the same quality. They may not have anywhere near the same type of gameplay, or the same type of environment, or even the same type of story, but they have that something that just kind of draws you in and just gives you good memories. And so when you hear the soundtrack from that game at some time later, you almost stop and you go into La La Land. You know, you go to Daydream and you reminisce, and you remember playing the game. You remember getting immersed into it. You remember it you know, bringing you some joy. And that's what the gaming's about, you know. I mean, well, it's not always about joy. Sometimes it's about getting frustrated and yelling at dragons and throwing your controllers. I mean, it's about that too. But that a game can affect you that passionately says a lot, you know, just in and of itself. So I wouldn't be mad about this dragon boss kicking my ass if I didn't care, right? And if I care, well, that's what the gaming's about there. So try to pass that along, I guess, in a lot of this. And you know, whether it works or whether I fail, whatever, at least you know, loving the game and trying to share that. So I think that's a good thing. So anyway, anyway, for any newcomers, Fallout 4 definitely be coming next, and I'll dig off into that. And I would wager that the channel will probably be dedicated to that until I run it into the ground. I did a similar thing with Inquisition, played the crap out of that, and I didn't come out in the first week and put out a bunch of quote unquote character build videos, like pick a whole bunch of skills, read those skills off to you, and then call it my ninja, assassin, archer, death dealer, morbid build, or any of that bullshit. I went and played and figured out what worked for me, and when I found some cool stuff in the game, I passed that along, and when I found a build that I felt dominant, or at least had some things that you could work with and tweak off of, then I shared those. And so if I don't have it, I'm not going to give it to you guys. You know, I'm not going to loan you guys bad stuff just for the sake of whoring for views. type of thing. That can't knock the guys that do it if it works. You know, if guys want to go watch somebody just read off skills to them and call that character build so that they can say, hey, I'm going to try this quote-unquote build and go do the same damn thing you would have done without that video. Because as long as you can read, you know. But to actually put some things together and figure out the mechanics in the game and come up with some neat combinations that, you know, think a little outside the box and maybe come up with some stuff that you might not have otherwise thought of. Or just bring some things to light, if nothing else, just to share. Just to share the build. Hey, this worked for me, guys. Cool. And a lot of you guys came back, well, you know, I do something similar, but I do this, and this, and I pick this skill and I use this weapon and that works for me, and go a different way with the same type of thing. And I thought that was really cool, because some of you guys came up with some good stuff. If you go back and look at the Inquisition comments, there's some really good ideas down there. Really good questions and really good advice, both towards me and towards, you know, y'all that were giving to each other and stuff too. So that was really, I think that's what it's all about right there too. As far as you guys coming here is, I don't know if you'd call this a community of a sort. Maybe not like PewDiePie has with his, 40 million people and the Bro Army and all those things that he started, being the grandfather of YouTube gaming. Seriously, man, that guy's friggin' celebrity status. But maybe not community as far as that goes, but I know one thing. I know all of you guys here are not only civil and knowledgeable towards each other and stuff, but leaving some really intelligent and insightful things regarding the game and everything from story to lore to whatever. Y'all put in a lot of work on the Dragon Age series, because we did all 3 games, and some of you guys came in and were really, like, mind-blowingly knowledgeable about a lot of that stuff. And some of you guys here on Skyrim, same way. Just knowledgeable, you know, passing along stuff, correcting me where I'm wrong, which is often. I get it. Somebody might say, well, dude, you're bad. And I'm like, that's fine. I don't care that I'm bad. At least I try. I'm having fun being bad, you know. I mean, it's... Oh, man, I love video games. I really do. So notice I'm blabbing my lips to fill in all this empty time here between dragons. Got a couple ancients back to back. That was cool. Get a shout under our belt. A few iron ore. I'm gonna stock these up and go turn them all into gold ore, and then gold ingots, and go make up a bunch of jewelry. My smithing now, oh, it's right around 90 or so. It's not quite there yet. I'm going to get it to 100, and then I'm going to go back to my house at Whiterun, and I'm going to grab a fresh longbow and a fresh set of Forsworn armor, a blank set, if you will, and then go find a smith and go grab some iron and grab some pieces of leather or whatever, unless I have some on me at the time. And then we'll go... I'm not going to use any potions. We're just going to go to a smithing bench, and based on our 100 smithing skill, we're just going to upgrade a set of gear. And then I may go to the Skyforge and make an iron sword, and then go down to, what's-her-face, the blacksmith at the gates of Whiterun, and make a sword there too, and see what the difference is. I believe the Skyforge gives you a couple extra points of damage, but it may only work for steel. I don't know that it works for any other material. It may work for all of them. I imagine it probably does, but I don't know. I'm guessing. So, it may not do anything for you at all, but from what I understand, you can actually make stronger steel or stronger weapons using the Skyforge smithing station. So, I thought I'd give that a try. If it works, then I'll go ahead and throw it in the video, and we'll go ahead and make that, you know, part of whatever we happen to be doing at the time. If not, then I won't bother. But I'm just curious. You'd figure after all these playthroughs, I would have looked into that by now, but never actually really bothered. So I think I'll go check that out. One of you guys probably knows ahead of time, and hopefully we'll leave it in the comment below. Like, don't bother. Good. Then I won't have to. But if somebody says, then I'll have to balance that and say, well, do I want a specially smithed, even if it's just iron weapons, or do I just want to go with the basic? Might wind up going with the basic anyway. Just because. We're keeping everything else absolutely basic. For armor, iron weapons, so... the video description doesn't say specially crafted iron weapons, it's just iron weapons. So no blacksmithing potions, just basic smithing skill at work there. Just like enchanting, no enchanting potions, just straight enchantments, which are pretty strong now. We can dual enchant, and it's at 100. It's well strong enough. When I go to do a ring, I can add 40% extra damage to both one-handed and archery, for example. So it's worthwhile, definitely.
Azura has seen your coming, traveler. It was not curiosity, but fate that has led you here. Azura has given me the gift of foresight. I had a vision of you walking up the steps to this altar, long before you were born. You have been chosen to be her champion. I know it is unexpected, but do not worry. It will all unfold as she has predicted. You must go to a fortress, endangered by water, yet untouched by it. Inside, you will find an elven mage who can turn the brightest star as black as night. It is cryptic, I know, but Azura's signs are never wrong. I believe the fortress may refer to Winterhold. Ask if they know this elven enchanter. My people, the Dunmer, built it. We fled from Morrowind after Vardenfell erupted, almost 200 years ago. Those of us who were faithful to Azura were given a vision that led us away from the island before the worst came. This shrine is our thanks to her, that none will forget that she watches over us all. She is the goddess of dawn and dusk. Azura sees into the twilight of the future and guides her followers through it. Twilight, guide your path.
Yeah, I asked her about this shrine, and she says, okay, so it was made here by some dark elves fleeing from Vardenfell, which I guess in the around Morrowind or whatever, down near their homeland, wherever that's at. If that was almost 200 years ago, that puts it about the time that the Oblivion Crisis was ended. That the Great Oblivion Gates were coming up. What does that have to do with their mountain erupting? And does that have something to do with the what is it, tidal wave or whatever that came through and basically destroyed a good part of Winterhold? Also, you can go ask NPCs and stuff, and they'll tell you a bit about that, about some disaster. I don't remember when they said it happened, but if that all happened kind of around the same time as the Oblivion Crisis too, was there something to Martin Septim turning into a dragon and putting an end to Mehrunes Dagon that released something, some kind of energy or something that affected everybody throughout Tamriel or something? I mean, are we going to find that other stuff happened also in other places like Elsewhere or Hammerfell or something? I'm just throwing it out there. You lore guys, let me know as far as the timeline goes. Maybe if some of those things don't kind of coincide. Not that they've told us that they're linked, but maybe you can draw clues for yourself based on when things happen and say, you know, that's more than a coincidence. That, you know, this volcano erupts over here and makes people flee, and then this thing comes through Skyrim and attacks their mages college, basically. Didn't seem to affect anywhere else along the coast, just Winterhold. And then was there some kind of magical draw or something that caused that to happen? Some like tsunami type of thing going on or something. I don't know, just throwing it out there. Because all that's, I guess, a bit cloaked in mystery and stuff. Be interesting that volcano erupting, driving the Dark Elves away, essentially. And forcing them into refuge, and them having some place here, and kind of wonder how all that'll play out into their future dealings with. Oh, he's not an enemy. That's the bard guy, Taufgir or whatever his name is. Taufgir. Well, anyway, he was fighting a bandit. I didn't know. All right, well, I'm gonna let him fight it out with my Atronach over here. Let them duke it out for a while. This should be funny. I don't think my Atronach's gonna kill him, so we'll let him get his hero on over here. Atronach's pretty awesome, man. I've always liked playing Atronachs. I think they did a really good job with them here because they have that kind of graceful little backflip they do. Very graceful. Very cool. Oh, well. All right. She timed out. He's lucky she timed out. She was getting busy with his ass. Well, that's how Nords do it. 1 minute you're fighting for your life, the next minute you're enjoying the fresh air. Live to breathe another day, huh? Good for you, man. I guess we'll slowly work our way down this mountain here. Oh, cool. I picked up this little fetch-em quest from that jeweler in Riften. Long time ago. He wanted like a mammoth tusk and a couple of whatever those flawless sapphires. And I guess I can go get those to him. I think all he just gives you is gold, basically. Not really much for doing it. Although I think it counts as a favor. Should we ever decide to buy Honeyside in Riften, I do believe that counts as doing a favor for somebody. And I did get the food merchant there some ice wraith teeth. I believe I did that for her also. I remember her giving me like a spell book of a spell I already knew or something. And anyway, got that out of the way too. Actually probably have done enough favors for people around Riften to actually make a move towards getting the house. Probably. It's beautiful out here like this. Like I said, I kind of wish it was sunny, but you get the this ambient music right here is some of my favorite in the game. I like it all. I'm not gonna lie. Every bit of the Elder Scrolls soundtracks, just going all the way back. I can go listen to soundtracks from games I didn't even play. You know, Elder Scrolls games from back when and stuff. And it's just awesome, man. It's all just awesome. I mean, and it's stayed true over the years too, like the same style of music, the same feel you get. You can go listen to the Oblivion soundtrack, and it's very, very familiar, very comfortable compared to Skyrim music. It's right in there. You can tell it's done by the same people and written in a lot in the same way. I mean, I get the whole almost Battle March theme of the whole, you know, Dragonborn comes thing, but it's still, you can tell it's in the same flavor of the style of music they had, even in Elder Scrolls 4 and stuff. But this right here, this is... Well, not that right there. That sounds ominous. But this other ominous music, or this other ambient music going on back there, it's just really, really cool. Notice that the game developers who get it right, they put music, the right kind of music in the right spot. Mass Effect was really good about it. Dragon Age too, and well, even Fallout, really. Wandering around the wasteland in Fallout 3, there were times, even when you didn't have your Pip-Boy on, that certain music would pop up at a certain place and it would fit. It would fit. It didn't always have to be dramatic battle music and stuff. Sometimes it was just cool, I'm out exploring, la la la, you know, just looking around type music. Very cool, man. Very cool. And it would almost affect what I saw in the game. Like the way I would perceive a particular area, the music would have a lot to do with that. Bringing back memories of that area. Like I could hear that music and remember where I was when I heard it. That's pretty amazing. I mean, for a game to put you in a place like that, talk about immersive. That's pretty special. Should be a skill book right here. If I can get it to register. Oh, my character's short. Well, that's a really tall barrel. One or the other. Alright, there we go. Man, good deal. Alright, so we meet the companions here, and I guess put an end to this. This is essentially the end of their storyline. There's more stuff to do. Basically, after this, actually, Aiella will have us chase down these, like, totems. And they work as kind of a standing stone type of thing. But they specifically affect your werewolf abilities. If I recall correctly. So, I'm not going to go through with all that. I don't plan on staying a werewolf. Actually, we're going to go off and Sorry, guys, for those of you that wanted to spend the rest of the playthrough being a werewolf running around snarling at people. Okay, well, didn't plan on doing that, but we're going to go join the Dawn Guard thing and do the vampire stuff. Whatever else we do in the Civil War and eventually get along with the main quest, I at least want to do a lot of the Dawn Guard stuff. Go grab Serana and have her follow for a while, because she's really cool NPC follower. And kind of see where it goes from there. Finish up the Dark Brotherhood too, most likely. I mean, I don't see why not. We've done quite a bit of it, actually. I think we only have just a few more steps to go before that's pretty much said and done too, so probably get around to that also. But for now, I guess I'll leave you guys with this. When we get back, we'll go on. We'll go and head into the tomb here and see what the companions will have us do. All right, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe, click that button up top, and if you want to catch the rest of this Let's Play, click that image in the middle. It should send you to the playlist. Y'all take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.